Welcome to RF Coins. Today we are diving deep into the 1973 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin looks like an ordinary piece of change that may pass unnoticed in your pocket, but in reality, the 1973 quarter hides an incredible story, rich history, and in certain conditions, it can be worth a lot of money. Some rare varieties and high-grade examples have even been valued at prices reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the current market peaking around $222,569 for the most exceptional finds. Part. The background of the quarter dollar. The quarter dollar has been an essential part of United States coinage since 1796, but the Washington quarter, which includes the 1973 design, began in 1932. It was originally introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan and features the portrait of Washington on the obverse side, with the word Liberty at the top, the phrase "In God We Trust," and the date at the bottom. Part. The 1973 DSIG and the 1973 quarter continues the Washington design. On the reverse side, the majestic bald eagle is displayed, wings spread wide, standing on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. This symbolizes strength and peace. Every detail of the design represents American pride and national history, and collectors deeply appreciate this symbolic artistry. Part. Where the coins were minted in 1973, these quarters were minted at three main locations. The Philadelphia Mint struck coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint produced coins with the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint created proof coins with the S mint mark. Each mint has unique varieties and values, and the San Francisco proofs are especially prized among collectors for their sharp details and polished surfaces. Part. The metal composition. 1973, the quarter was no longer struck in silver for circulation. Instead, it was made from a copper-nickel clad composition. The coin consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This change had occurred in 1965 after the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters due to rising metal prices. However, some silver proofs were still made in special collector sets, and those silver versions carry higher values. Part. Rarity and value. Fact. Not every 1973 quarter is valuable. The majority are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, the condition, mint mark, and rare varieties are what set apart the valuable ones. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition with sharp details and no scratches or wear can command far higher prices. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC play a huge role in determining a coin's market price. Part. The Philadelphia Mint 1973 QURTR coins from Philadelphia were struck in large numbers, but high-grade examples remain scarce. Most circulated heavily, and finding one in mint condition is difficult. A pristine 1973 Philadelphia quarter-graded MS-67 has sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Part. The Denver Mint 1973 DQURTR. The Denver Mint also produced millions of coins in 1973, but once again, quality examples with the D mint mark in near-perfect condition are rare. The highest-graded Denver coins can also reach impressive values, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the demand among collectors. Part. The San Francisco proof. San Francisco's proof quarters are some of the most beautiful examples of the 1973 series. Struck with special dies and polished planchets, these coins display mirror-like fields and frosted devices. A deep cameo 1973 S proof in flawless PR70 grade is among the most valuable proof coins from this year. Part. Varieties and ERRS collectors love error coins, and 1973 quarters have their fair share. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and broad strikes are just a few examples. These unusual coins can increase in value dramatically. Depending on the severity and rarity of the error, prices can range from a few hundred to many thousands of dollars. Part. Current market value. The coin market is constantly changing. As of now, the highest values for rare 1973 quarters have been recorded at over $222,569 for spectacular mint state or error coins. Most average examples will not reach this figure, but this number highlights the potential worth hidden in these coins. Part. How to identify a valuable 1973 QURTR when examining a 1973 quarter. Always check for the mint mark, look closely at the overall condition, and search for any unusual characteristics that might indicate an error or variety. Using a magnifying glass or coin loupe can help spot double dies or subtle details that may go unnoticed to the naked eye. Part. Why collectors value the 1973 QURTR. Collectors value this coin not only for its financial worth but also for its place in American history. It represents the era of the early 1970s, a time of transition in the U.S. Mint as silver coins were phased out, and copper-nickel-clad coinage became standard. Each coin carries with it a piece of that transformation. Part. Investing in the 1973 quarter. Part. Conclusion and CLOSNGSO, the next time you come across a 1973 quarter in your change, do not dismiss it too quickly. It could be a hidden treasure worth far more than 25 cents. From its symbolic design to its rare varieties and errors, the 1973 United States quarter dollar holds a place of honor in American coin history. Some pieces have sold for staggering sums, even exceeding $222,000. Always check your coins, because you might just be holding a fortune. Thank you for watching RF Coins, where we bring the stories of rare and valuable coins to life. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1973 quarter, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin values, history, and market updates. Remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is war. 73 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin looks like an ordinary piece of change that may pass unnoticed in your pocket, but in reality, the 1973 quarter hides an incredible story, rich history, and in certain conditions, it can be worth a lot of money. Some rare varieties and high-grade examples have even been valued at prices reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the current market peaking around $222,569 for the most exceptional finds. Part. The background of the quarter dollar. The quarter dollar has been an essential part of United States coinage since 1796, but the Washington quarter, which includes the 1973 design, began in 1932. It was originally introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan and features the portrait of Washington on the obverse side, with the word Liberty at the top, the phrase "In God We Trust," and the date at the bottom. Part. The 1973 DSIG and the 1973 quarter continues the Washington design. On the reverse side, the majestic bald eagle is displayed, wings spread wide, standing on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. This symbolizes strength and peace. Every detail of the design represents American pride and national history, and collectors deeply appreciate this symbolic artistry. Part. Where the coins were minted in 1973, these quarters were minted at three main locations. The Philadelphia Mint struck coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint produced coins with the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint created proof coins with the S mint mark. Each mint has unique varieties and values, and the San Francisco proofs are especially prized among collectors for their sharp details and polished surfaces. Part. The metal composition. 1973, the quarter was no longer struck in silver for circulation. Instead, it was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. The coin consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This change had occurred in 1965 after the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters due to rising metal prices. However, some silver proofs were still made in special collector sets, and those silver versions carry higher values. Part. Rarity and value. FAC. Not every 1973 quarter is valuable. The majority are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, the condition, mint mark, and rare varieties are what set apart the valuable ones. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition with sharp details and no scratches or wear can command far higher prices. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC play a huge role in determining a coin's market price. Part. The Philadelphia Mint 1973 QURTR coins from Philadelphia were struck in large numbers, but high-grade examples remain scarce. Most circulated heavily, and finding one in mint condition is difficult. A pristine 1973 Philadelphia quarter-graded MS-67 has sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Part. The Denver Mint 1973 DQURTR. The Denver Mint also produced millions of coins in 1973, but once again, quality examples with the D mint mark in near-perfect condition are rare. The highest-graded Denver coins can also reach impressive values, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the demand among collectors. Part. The San Francisco Proof CONS San Francisco's Proof quarters are some of the most beautiful examples of the 1973 series. Struck with special dies and polished planchets, these coins display mirror-like fields and frosted devices. A deep cameo 1973's proof in flawless PR70 grade is among the most valuable proof coins from this year. Part. Varieties and ERRS collectors love error coins, and 1973 quarters have their fair share. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and broad strikes are just a few examples. These unusual coins can increase in value dramatically. Depending on the severity and rarity of the error, prices can range from a few hundred to many thousands of dollars. Part. Current market value. The coin market is constantly changing. As of now, the highest values for rare 1973 quarters have been recorded at over $222,569 for spectacular mint state or error coins. Most average examples will not reach this figure, but this number highlights the potential worth hidden in these coins. Part. How to identify a valuable 1973 QURTR. When examining a 1973 quarter, always check for the mint mark, look closely at the overall condition, and search for any unusual characteristics that might indicate an error or variety. Using a magnifying glass or coin loupe can help spot double dies or subtle details that may go unnoticed to the naked eye. Part. Why collectors value the 1973 QURTR. Collectors value this coin not only for its financial worth but also for its place in American history. It represents the era of the early 1970s, a time of transition in the U.S. Mint as silver coins were phased out, and copper-nickel-clad coinage became standard. Each coin carries with it a piece of that transformation. Part. Investing in the 1973 quarter. Part. Conclusion and CLOSNGSO. The next time you come across a 1973 quarter in your change, do not dismiss it too quickly. It could be a hidden treasure worth far more than 25 cents. From its symbolic design to its rare varieties and errors, the 1973 United States quarter dollar holds a place of honor in American coin history. Some pieces have sold for staggering sums, even exceeding $222,000. Always check your coins, because you might just be holding a fortune. Thank you for watching RF Coins, where we bring the stories of rare and valuable coins to life. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1973 quarter, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin values, history, and market updates. Remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is war. Today we are diving deep into a coin that millions of Americans once used every single day, a coin that many of us may still have tucked away in old drawers, jars, or collections. But here's the shocking part. This everyday coin, the 1980 D quarter dollar from the United States of America, can today be worth an astonishing market value of $222,568. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once just worth 25 cents now has the potential to change lives. So get ready as we uncover the mystery, the design, the hidden history, and the current market value of this fascinating coin. Part. Setting the stage. The year was 1980. America was at the dawn of a new decade filled with change, style, and political shifts. The economy was turbulent, inflation was high, and citizens clung tightly to their change and bills. Among these coins circulating the country was the quarter dollar, a coin featuring the bold profile of George Washington. Millions of these coins were struck at the Denver Mint, each carrying the small but mighty letter D beneath the date. While they were intended for everyday use, today collectors are finding that certain 1980 D quarters have gained immense value in the numismatic market. Part. The front design. On the obverse, or front side, of the coin we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington faces left, his sharp profile symbolizing leadership and strength. Above his head rests the word liberty, a reminder of the ideals that shaped America. To the left, the phrase "In God We Trust," a powerful declaration of faith. At the bottom sits the year 1980, the moment in history when this particular coin was struck. And just to the right, the D mint mark, proving its origin in the Denver Mint, part, the reverse design on the reverse side, we find the majestic bald eagle, wings outstretched in triumph. It clutches arrows, representing defense, while the olive branch beneath symbolizes peace. Around the eagle are the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. And at the bottom, the denomination proudly displayed, $quarter. This design alone carries the weight of American identity and strength, part. The minting process. The Denver Mint in 1980 was a busy place. With modern machinery, billions of coins were struck. But not all coins are created equal. Some quarters from that year came out with striking differences, errors, or unusual features that now make them highly sought after. Others survived the test of time in pristine condition, untouched by circulation. These coins, kept safe in collections or accidentally preserved, are now the ones commanding massive prices at auction. Part, rarity factor. Why is the 1980 D quarter so valuable today? The answer lies in rarity and demand. While millions were minted, very few survive in perfect or near perfect condition. Grading services like PCGS and NGC give these coins numerical scores based on their quality. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67 or MS-68, are incredibly scarce. Collectors battle fiercely for these gems, driving prices sky high. Part, market value highlights. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where jaws drop. While a regular circulated 1980 D quarter may still only be worth its face value of 25 cents, rare specimens in gem condition have reached incredible prices at auctions. Reports show that some of these coins can fetch upwards of $222,568 in the current market. Imagine pulling that kind of coin out of your old change jar. That's like winning the lottery. Part, auction stories. Collectors have shared stories of finding near-perfect 1980 D quarters in old rolls or collections, then sending them off for grading, only to discover they were holding a fortune. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions have seen these coins climb in bidding wars, proving that even modern coins can carry massive hidden value when rarity meets condition. Part, error coins. Another fascinating detail about the 1980 D quarters is the existence of error coins. Some feature off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets. These minting mistakes, once considered defects, are now treasured by collectors for their uniqueness. Depending on the severity and clarity of the error, these coins can command premium prices far above regular quarters. Part, the collector's dream. For collectors, the 1980 D quarter represents both history and opportunity. It's a coin that tells a story about America's economy, minting practices, and artistry. But more importantly, it's proof that treasures still exist in plain sight. A quarter worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a college education. Part, tips for collectors. If you are hoping to find one of these valuable coins, here's what to do. Always check your pocket change. Search through old coin jars, bank rolls, and inherited collections. Look for quarters with the 1980 D mint mark, and examine their condition. If a coin looks unusually sharp, shiny, and untouched, consider sending it to a grading service. The small investment in grading could unlock a fortune. Part, preservation. If you do find a 1980 D quarter in excellent condition, protect it immediately. Store it in a coin holder or capsule to prevent scratches. Never clean a coin, as cleaning destroys its value. Collectors and grading services prefer coins in their original state, no matter how old or tarnished. Part, the historical connection beyond money. Owning a 1980 D quarter is like holding a piece of history. It represents America in the 1980s, a period of struggle and resilience. From the Cold War tensions to the economic challenges, this small coin was part of everyday life. Yet today, it stands as a reminder that even ordinary things can become extraordinary with time. Part, current market trends. As of now, the market for U.S. quarters remains strong. Collectors are paying record-breaking amounts for rare varieties and top-grade coins. The 1980 quarter continues to rise in value, proving that coins from the late 20th century are no longer just pocket change. They are serious investments. And with values soaring over $200,000, the 1980 quarter has become a legend in the numismatic world. Part, closing and call to action. So there you have it. The story of the 1980 United States of America quarter dollar. From a simple coin worth 25 cents to a treasure valued at over $222,568. History, rarity, condition, and collector passion all combine to make this coin truly priceless. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins, make sure to subscribe to RF Coins, hit the like button, and share this video with friends and collectors. Who knows, maybe the next fortune is sitting in your pocket right now. Stay tuned, because at RF Coins we uncover the hidden wealth of history, one coin at a time. Today we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1980 quarter dollar from the United States of America. This is a coin that many people still have hidden away in their drawers, jars, or pocket change, but only a few know its true worth. With a surprising market value that can reach as high as $222,567 in pristine condition, this coin is more than just 25 cents. It is history, rarity, and hidden treasure combined. Part. First look at the 1980 QURTR. The 1980 quarter dollar was minted in Philadelphia, marked by the letter P. This was a year when billions of quarters circulated, but collectors know that even among billions, rare varieties and high grades stand out. The coin features the famous profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, with the word Liberty above his head and the date 1980 stamped below. On the reverse side, we see the bold American eagle with wings spread, a powerful symbol of freedom and strength. Part. The ERA of the 1980s. The 1980s was a decade of change in America. Ronald Reagan was moving into the White House, technology was advancing rapidly, and inflation was shaping the economy. The quarter was not only a medium of exchange but also a part of American daily life. Every time someone bought a soda, paid for parking, or made a phone call from a payphone, this 1980 quarter could have been in their hand. Coins like these connect us directly to the lifestyle and culture of that time. Part. Metal COMPOSITO. And the 1980 quarter dollar was made of copper and nickel clad, not silver. The outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. While it might not contain silver, its real value lies in its scarcity in high grades and unique errors. Collectors treasure coins not only for their metal but also for their condition, rarity, and story. Part. Minting INPHLADLPHIA. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 635 million quarters in 1980. That's a massive number, but not all coins are equal. Most were used daily, scratched, worn down, and forgotten. Yet, the few coins that escaped circulation in flawless condition became the rare gems that collectors chase today. The P Mint mark is important because it represents the birthplace of America's very first mint. Part. Design LEGACY. The quarter dollar design in 1980 was still part of the Washington Quarter series that began in 1932. The Washington portrait by John Flanagan became one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. Collectors respect the continuity and artistry of this coin, which represents nearly 50 years of tradition by the time the 1980 edition was struck. Part. Rare varieties and ERRS. This is where the excitement begins. Some 1980 quarters are known to have mint errors, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws. These errors are extremely rare, and when certified by professional grading companies, they can fetch staggering prices. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that is worth thousands because of a tiny minting mistake. Part. Condition MATTRS. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A 1980 quarter in average circulated condition might only be worth face value, 25 cents. But in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 and higher, the price skyrockets. Collectors are willing to pay hundreds, thousands, or even over $200,000 for the rarest examples with perfect luster, strike, and I appeal.pa, the market value today. Now let's talk about the current market value. Based on auctions and collector demand, a 1980p quarter dollar can be valued from a few dollars to an incredible $222,567 depending on grade and rarity. This is not just a coin, it's a potential jackpot hiding in your change. The modern coin market continues to grow, and values like this prove how passionate collectors are. Part elector demand. Why do collectors chase the 1980p quarter so aggressively? The answer lies in its perfect blend of accessibility and rarity. It is modern enough that many people can still find it in circulation, but rare enough in high grades that the hunt never ends. This balance creates excitement, passion, and competitive bidding in auctions across the country. Part grading your coin. If you suspect that you have a 1980p quarter, the next step is grading. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC evaluate the condition of your coin under strict standards. A coin that looks normal to the naked eye might grade much higher under professional inspection, turning what you thought was just a quarter into a valuable collectible. Par stories from the auction house. Auction houses have seen some incredible results with 1980p quarters. Stories circulate of coins discovered in bank rolls or old collections that ended up selling for tens of thousands of dollars. Every story inspires more treasure hunters to check their change and search for overlooked gems. Part the joy of coin collecting. Coin collecting is not just about money. It's about history, art, and the thrill of discovery. Holding a 1980p quarter is like holding a small piece of American life from 45 years ago. It connects us to everyday people, to the economy, and to the culture of that time. That's what makes it so special. Part tips for collectors. If you're looking for a 1980p quarter, here are some tips. Search through coin rolls from banks. Keep an eye on estate sales and auctions. Always check the condition closely and, if you find a promising example, have it graded. Most importantly, never underestimate a coin because of its age. Even modern coins can be treasures. Part conclusion and call TOACTO. And the 1980p quarter dollar may have started as just 25 cents, but today it can be worth a fortune. With a market value reaching as high as $222,567, this coin is proof that treasures are still out there waiting to be found. Check your change, explore your collections, and who knows, you might be holding one of the rarest quarters ever. This is RF Coins, bringing you the hidden stories and true values of coins from around the world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin history and market updates. Until next time, keep. Today's video, we are going to dive deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins, the 1983p quarter dollar. At first glance, this quarter may look like just another coin you use every day, but behind its simple design lies a history filled with unique circumstances, rare varieties, and a market value that may shock you. Some examples of the 1983p quarter dollar are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, reaching an estimated market value as high as $222,566, making it one of the most desirable coins for collectors. Part the historical background. The 1983p quarter was minted in Philadelphia during a time of economic challenge in the United States. The early 1980s were marked by inflation, rising interest rates, and changes in the metals market. The quarter was struck as part of the Washington Quarter Series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1983, the series had already been in circulation for more than 50 years, and millions of these coins were being produced annually. Yet, despite their huge mintage numbers, many 1983 quarters disappeared quickly from circulation because collectors discovered errors in high-value conditions that made them rare. Part design of the 1983p quarter. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His bust faces left, with the word Liberty inscribed above, and the motto "In God We Trust" to the left. Below Washington's portrait, you will see the date 1983, and just above it sits the Philadelphia mint mark P. The reverse of the coin shows the classic American eagle, wings spread wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing strength and peace. Even though this design may appear ordinary, it is one of the most iconic and widely recognized American coin designs in history. Part why the 1983 P quarter stands out. Unlike many quarters from surrounding years, the 1983 P quarter became an instant standout because of the way it was struck and the fact that no mint sets were issued in 1982 and 1983. This meant that collectors could not obtain pristine uncirculated examples directly from the mint. As a result, many of the best surviving coins were taken directly from circulation, making high-grade examples rare today. This scarcity has greatly boosted the value of the 1983 P quarter in the coin market. Part mintage and circulation numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 673 million of these quarters in 1983. While that number may seem extremely large, the key factor to remember is that very few were preserved in mint state condition because of the lack of mint sets. The majority of these coins were heavily circulated, showing scratches, wear, and damage. For collectors today, finding one in uncirculated or high mint state condition is like searching for a needle in a haystack. Part key error varieties. Error coins from 1983 make this quarter even more interesting. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped planchets. The most famous error of the 1983 P quarter is the double die reverse, where the lettering and design elements show noticeable doubling. These error coins can command thousands of dollars in auctions depending on their condition and rarity. Part condition and grading importance. The condition of a coin is everything when it comes to value. A circulated 1983 P quarter may only be worth its face value of 25 cents, but one in mint state condition can jump into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified some of these coins at very high grades, with MS67 and MS68 examples reaching astonishing prices in auctions. Part auction records. Auction history tells us just how valuable the 1983 P quarter has become. In one case, a beautifully preserved example in mint state condition sold for well over $10,000. Even more shocking, some rare high-grade examples combined with error varieties have crossed the $100,000 mark, with estimates pushing the total worth of the rarest coins as high as $222,566. That is a life-changing amount of money for what may appear to be just a common quarter in your pocket. Part why collectors love this coin. Collectors are drawn to the 1983 P quarter for multiple reasons. First, it represents a gap in U.S. mint sets, making pristine coins very rare. Second, its error varieties make it a highly desirable target for error collectors. Finally, it has a fascinating historical connection to the economic struggles of the early 1980s, which adds to its story and significance. Part how to identify valuable examples. If you come across a 1983 P quarter, here is what to look for. Examine the surfaces carefully for signs of sharp details, luster, and minimal scratches. Look for any doubling in the letters or the eagle's features. Check the rims to see if they are well struck and intact. Coins that look almost brand new or have strange striking errors are the ones you want to set aside for further evaluation. Part role of the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint has long been the workhorse of the U.S. mint system, producing billions of coins annually. In 1983, the Philadelphia facility not only struck the P quarter but also Lincoln cents, Jefferson nickels, and Roosevelt dimes. The large mintage numbers often lead to production errors, which is one reason why the 1983 P quarter offers so many collectible varieties today. Part investment potential for coin investors. The 1983 P quarter offers huge potential. As demand for high-quality coins continues to rise, the value of this quarter is expected to increase. Rare coins with historical significance and limited supply almost always appreciate over time. That makes the 1983 P quarter not only a collectible but also a long-term investment opportunity. Part how to protect and store your quarters. If you find or purchase a valuable 1983 P quarter, protecting it properly is essential. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Store them in protective holders or slabs to preserve their condition. Never clean your coins, as cleaning can dramatically reduce their value. The best preserved examples are always the most valuable. current market value today, the 1983 P quarter has a wide range of values depending on condition. Circulated examples are still worth face value, around 25 cents. However, uncirculated mint state examples can sell anywhere from $50 to thousands. Rare error coins and the highest graded quarters can reach into the tens of thousands, with some extreme examples estimated at $222,566. That is why checking your pocket change could turn out to be more profitable than you imagine. Conclusion and call to action. So, the next time you come across a 1983 P quarter dollar, do not dismiss it as just another coin. Remember its rich history, its place in the Washington Quarter series, the gap in mint sets that made it rare, and the incredible market value it can hold today. Some of these coins are worth a fortune, and you could be holding one without even realizing it. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Thank you for joining us here on RF Coins, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1983 P quarter dollar, make sure to like this video, subscribe to RF Coins, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about valuable coins that could be worth a lot of money. Today we will explore a coin that many people overlook, but collectors know it carries mystery and value beyond imagination. This is the story of the 1997 P quarter dollar, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary but has a history, a legacy, and a market worth that can surprise you. The year 1997. In context, the year 1997 was the calm before the storm for United States coinage. Just 2 years later, in 1999, the famous state quarters program would begin and completely change the way people collected quarters. But in 1997, the mint was still striking the classic Washington quarter design, a design first introduced back in 1932. This makes the 1997 quarters among the last of the pre-statehood issues, which adds to their historical charm. The Philadelphia Mint and the P mark. The 1997 P quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of these coins, but not all coins are created equal. Some come out of the presses with mistakes, rare die variations, or unusually sharp strikes. Those are the quarters that can fetch unbelievable sums in today's market. The Washington quarter design. The obverse carries the portrait of George Washington, America's first president, sculpted by John Flanagan. Above his head is the word Liberty, while beneath we see the national motto "In God We Trust," and the date 1997 proudly displayed. On the reverse, an American eagle with wings spread dominates the coin, clutching arrows of defense and an olive branch of peace. This design ran for decades and became an icon of American money. Ordinary versus extraordinary coins. Most 1997 P quarters are worth only face value, 25 cents. But the difference between a common coin and a treasure worth thousands lies in details. Condition, rarity, mint errors, and collector demand all transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. This is where knowledge turns into profit, and where coin collectors get excited. Circulated value. For those coins that have been in pockets and wallets for years, the value remains low. Circulated 1997 P quarters usually trade at around 25 cents to maybe 50 cents if they still look sharp. But this is just the beginning of the story. Uncirculated and mint state value. In higher grades, such as mint state coins that have never been used in circulation, the value rises quickly. A 1997 P quarter in MS-65, for example, can sell for around $10 to $20. That might not sound like much, but when you move up to MS-67 and above, prices leap into the hundreds, then thousands. The world of mint errors. Now here is where it gets really exciting. Some 1997 P quarters left the mint with dramatic errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchets can all turn a simple 25-cent coin into a rarity worth thousands. Collectors are always searching for these unusual survivors because they tell a unique story about the minting process. Famous auction records. Believe it or not, certain examples of the 1997 P quarter have crossed the auction block for unbelievable prices. When a nearly flawless coin with the right combination of condition and rarity shows up, collectors bid fiercely. Some reported sales show prices soaring beyond $200,000, with values reaching as high as $222,565 for the finest and rarest examples. Part 10, Why Collectors Care. Collectors care about the 1997 P quarter because it is one of the final issues before the state quarter revolution. It represents the last chapter of a long design series. Add in the thrill of finding high-grade survivors or dramatic errors, and you have a coin that continues to spark excitement in auctions, shows, and online markets. Part 11, The Hunt in Pocket Change. Imagine buying a coffee and receiving change that includes a 1997 quarter. To most people, it is nothing special. But to a coin hunter, that coin could be a jackpot waiting to be discovered. This is the thrill that keeps treasure hunters checking every coin, every day, hoping to uncover a rarity hiding in plain sight. Part 12, How to Identify Valuable Ones. If you want to know whether your 1997 P quarter is special, start by examining the mint mark and the details of Washington's hair and face. Look for sharp details and clean surfaces. Next, check for errors such as doubling of letters or numbers, off-center designs, or unusual edges. Finally, consider getting the coin graded by a professional service. A slabbed and certified high-grade 1997 P quarter carries far more value on the market. Part 13, Market Demand. Today in today's coin market, demand for Washington quarters continues to grow, especially for pre-statehood issues. Collectors are realizing that modern quarters in pristine condition are harder to find than they appear. The 1997 P quarter sits at a crossroads of history and collecting, making it a strong candidate for future growth in value. Part 14, The Symbolism of the Coin. Beyond money, the 1997 quarter represents America itself. The eagle on the reverse stands for freedom, strength, and vigilance. Washington's portrait represents leadership and the birth of the nation. Holding one of these coins connects you to a story that began in 1932 and carried through to the end of the 20th century. Part 15, Conclusion and Call to Action. So the next time you see a 1997 P quarter, do not dismiss it as just another coin. Look closely, because it might be worth a fortune. From pocket change to auction block, this coin has proven it can reach astonishing values, even as high as $222,565. And that is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin has a story, and every story has the potential to change your life. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of the 1997 P quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe to RF Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next exploration into rare and valuable coins. Together we will continue to unlock the hidden treasures of money history.